Oh, Matthew is already sending you 120% energy for your stream. Thank you so much. I will take all the energy. All right, so today we're diving into the sun, moon, rising for all our Sagittarius friends out there, or maybe you have a little bit of Sagittarius elsewhere in your chart, or perhaps you have friends or family that connect with Sagittarius. All right, so let me go over the decks that I'm using, and I'll go over kind of like our outline of what we do for these monthly chats. And by the way, this is the first time I'm doing live monthly chats for each of the zodiac signs. So I'm kind of trying this out because my favorite thing in the world is to talk and connect with you guys and get your feedback and just, you know, have a bit of a conversation. You know, although I do love some of my pre-recorded videos, my favorite thing to do is kind of just hang out with people. So like I said, I want to give this a go. I've already started doing weekly live chats, and those have been going really well. So we'll see how it goes with all of the zodiac. All right, so we had a lot of people in yesterday, last evening. That was like my very first zodiac monthly live chat stream, so that was a lot of fun. All right, so this is for April 2022. Again, Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, or if you have Sagittarius elsewhere in your chart, or if you have friends and family that maybe are Sagittarius. Sherry Bug, what's up? All right, so let's go over the decks. I have my Wally's World Oracle, and if you guys are interested, definitely check out the link down below. I also have my Mystic Fairy Tarot this evening. I'm going to be using the Lavish Earth Oracle and the Essential Oils Healing deck. And yes, we're going to be using a lot of decks, by the way. The Feelings in Bloom, or Emotions in Bloom, created by V, Love, and Crystals. Susie said, listening for Sag, for George. Hey, Tara and everyone. Hey, Susie. Okay, and then a couple other decks I'm going to be using. The Good Karma Tarot. And lastly, the Animal Love Oracle cards. All right, so how this is going to be laid out, let me go over a little bit of the outline. So I'm going to do a circle casting because, you know, I do have my eclectic green witchy side, and I want to kind of cast an elemental circle. It's not just for me, but encompasses everybody who is watching, listening, all of that. So energy knows no space and time. So consider yourself in the circle. Afterwards, we'll dive right into the April 2022 monthly reading for Sagittarius. Then we're going to go into a few different categories: health, wealth, love, and career. We'll look for a opportunity and a block that may pop up for you in the month of April. And then we'll be able to do a viewer's choice. So everybody who's actually in the chat will be able to vote on which question they would like me to pull cards for next. We'll do a healing, closing the circle, and of course, my show of gratitude for everybody who supports me in the channel. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. The spread I'm going to be using for the April reading actually comes from my friend Steph, so I just felt her spread was kind of appropriate because it's more springy themed, and you know, in the northern hemisphere we just had our spring equinox, we just had Ostara, and hence my altar is very florally back there. Just finished kind of getting my altar all nice and ready for this season. And I know that there's obviously the change of season that happens with our friends in the southern hemisphere, except they're going into kind of the cooler months of the fall, whereas we're starting to heat up here in the northern hemisphere. Some people may still have snow on the ground. Here in the valley of Arizona, it's already pretty warm. I mean, it's still pretty windy out because it's spring, but it's getting pretty warm out there. All right, so let's see. Susie said, pretty outfit and earrings. Well, thank you very much. Yes, gotta have my treble clefs. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and light our candle. I've been surrounded by nothing but yellow energy today. So, of course, you know, we have our yellow door and our yellow beanbag chair, but like I pulled just a card for myself this morning, and it was yellow, and just, it seems like everything and everywhere I look is yellow today. So you get a yellow candle. So lots of solar plexus energy, solar energy. And by the way, today is 4 Ahau in Mayan astrology. So 4 being a very stable number, and Ahau is represented by the color yellow and the sun. So it is the Sun Lord. All right, so all that solar happy energy, I dig it. I'll take it. Sherry Bug said, I've been feeling the pull to get out my spring decks. Maybe tomorrow, I think. Sounds like a good idea. Kind of spring things up. Okay, so I have my little incense cone that I keep here, so I'm just going to light that as well, kind of clear the area, and I try to use all of the elements. So I have fire, smoke for air. You'll see I'll use some of the Florida water for cleansing with water. And then the wand that I use represents earth. So I try to have all of the elements in my practice. All right. Susie was saying, great idea. All right, so let's bust out this Florida water, get things nice and clear. And yes, again, although the water is physically with me, it's more the energy that I'm trying to push out with the cleansing of the water, so that energy extends towards all those watching and listening as well. Okay, I'm going to be using my singing bowl here to kind of break up the energy with sound, which I've been using a lot of sound today. So let's go ahead and do that. This particular singing bowl is connected to the heart chakra. All right, so I invite you guys to ground yourselves as well. So breathing in nice and deep all the way to the diaphragm, the lungs, the tummy, get it all nice and filled with air. And when you're ready, release. Try to get that belly button to the spine. Full exhale. And again. And release. One more time, you guys. And out. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Sherry Bug loves the singing bowls. Me too, which I brought extra singing bowls, so we'll make sure that our healing has a little bit of singing bowl energy. All right, so let's go ahead and cast that circle. The north is to the right of me here, so I'm going to call in an elemental circle. So what I've done with the breathing is grounded myself, pulling in that source energy through my highest chakras on down through the heart chakra, extending out through my arms to this wand, which becomes my appendage. So I believe that it just directs energy so well, especially with this boar bone, which was ethically sourced. But boar also represents that solar energy, powerful movement forward. And you pair that with the citrine, which I have here, and it's just crazy solar plexus, sun energy, casting light on everything. But it is tempered and made to, I guess, give guidance with this Lemurian quartz that I have here, and also the deer leather that I have here. So keeping everything nice and connected, high vibe, kind of like with the Lemurian quartz, but keeping everything grounded as well. Which actually, James and I made this wand for Desert Cauldron, and so I'm just borrowing it for our chat today. Okay, so calling in the energies and the elementals of the north to help strengthen our circle. Calling the elementals and energies of the east to help strengthen our circle. Calling in the elementals and energies of the south to strengthen our circle. calling in the elementals and energies of the West to strengthen our circle. All right, so let's dive into April 2022. All my Sagittarius friends there, no matter where you got Sagittarius, or maybe a Sagittarius is outside of you and it's in your friends and your family. Let's see what April has cooked up for you guys. So first of all, I always start off with Wally. So kind of asking Wally what the theme is for the month of April for Sagittarius. And I also thought it would be fun to do these live chats, you know, separating each of the 12 zodiac signs, so that it was a little bit more specific than a giant reading for everyone. So we may have something very similar maybe to Aries yesterday. Maybe we might have something totally different, you know, because this is a little bit more tailored, these readings. All right. Oh, interesting. Looks like it is a kind of different energetic month for our Sagittarius friends. Okay, Susie says, I have Neptune in Sagittarius. Oh, there you go. Oh, Neptune. Hello. Okay, so the card I have here, this is actually taken by me when I was in Florence, Florence, Italy, and it is the Duomo. So beautiful. Okay, so okay, all right. So the overall theme, what I'm getting, but by the way, here's little Wally Walito kind of photoshopped into the Duomo there. What I'm getting with this is Sagittarius finally giving, I guess, shining light on, giving gratitude for how far you guys have come in your journey. So, you know, I know sometimes it's hard, or it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day, and, you know, I always mess up in this, and it's always easier to see our faults. But I do believe that in April, this is a great time for you to kind of reflect and look and be like, man, I've really come a long way. Like, I remember I used to do this, and when something like this would happen, this is how I would always react. But I do things differently now. I see the world differently now. I see my place in the world differently now. I've been able to help so-and-so and so-and-so, or these groups of people. I've been able to express myself differently. And so by doing that, I do believe that this builds a more firm foundation for all of Sagittarius out there for April. So when you feel like things are more firm, you have a much more concrete foundation, kind of like today with the number 4 in Mayan astrology. We build our confidence, and we build our confidence in ourselves, and we build our confidence in our path, build our confidence in our intuition. It's much easier to attract the things that we want in our life when that confidence is there. But when we're second guessing ourselves, and I don't know if I deserve that, because you know, and I can't really get that thing because I mess up, you know, those things, then we push away the things that we actually really truly want. And it's just that kind of undeserving, unsure, you know, energy. But with Sagittarius, what I'm getting for this month is this, like, wait a minute, I'm not that person before, and I have changed. And I've changed, you know, maybe it's been difficult, but it's been great. So I do see this kind of building of confidence, kind of like this structure that's withstood the test of time for, it's actually a really, really, really old building, you guys. And it's still beautiful. It's still awe-inspiring. It's still magnificent. Much like when you guys are going to reflect on kind of your past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, maybe even past 6 months. Susie said, love this message. So that's kind of the overall theme. I would say that's a pretty big theme for Sagittarius out there. All right, so let's go ahead and put Wally aside. Give me just a moment, and then I'm going to grab my Mystic Fairy Tarot. Let's go ahead and pull those cards. Okay, and see, Sherrybug says, I have Neptune and North Node in Sagittarius. Have no idea what that means, though. But you got it. Actually, you know what? Susie is gotten really, really, really good at Western astrology. So should probably tell you volumes about that. Okay, so I have just over 10 cards to pull, so give me just a moment while I pull all of these cards. Okay, Sagittarius, April 2022. April 2022. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. So let's get to my life. 1 and 2. Oh, there we go. And there's another question here. Okay. All right, and then give me just a moment while I pull some cards from the other 2 decks because I want to take a dive into what crystals maybe you guys could work with or meditate on, even if you don't have them, kind of meditating with the pictures and the energy of it. Where's my little box? Here it is. And I'm also going to be pulling some cards for an essential oil that you guys can work with. And if you don't actually work with essential oils, then perhaps you can work with the actual herb or the knowledge of it, pictures of it. So you can do that too. All right, so put that there. All right, crystals. 1, 2, and third crystal, Sagittarius. All right. And one last card. Give me just a moment. It's going to come from the Essential Oils Healing deck. Sherry Bug says, I feel that. Not the cult, though. Susie says it means that you are extremely spiritual, but it can lead to fogginess or join a cult. Susie said it is a good placement. Conjunction to North Node. Wow, Sherry, really beautiful. Nice. I just know that my North Node is in Leo. I don't really remember what's in Neptune. There's our essential oil. All right, Sag, let's dive into this. Okay, let me get myself nice and situated, which, by the way, I brought this mega crystal to the party. This is actually this beautiful Brazilian Lemurian quartz. Look at those striations on there. Just, I don't know, it was really calling to me, and I felt like it could really help with this reading. All right, so let me get myself resituated for you guys. And let's take a look at question number 1. So what you might see hatching for you in April, or if you want to look at it, the springtime, or if you're in the southern hemisphere in fall. Susie said Aquarius is your south node. Oh, okay, well, there you go. All right, so what is hatching for you in April, Sagittarius? We have the Wheel of Fortune. So if you have felt that things, even though I know that there's been all kinds of crazy energy the past couple of years, you know, things shifting and changing. Of course, we've all been shifting and changing and evolving probably a little bit faster than we're used to, which why it might be more apparent to people at this time of like, wow, things have been changing, which really it happens on the daily basis. It just feels so much slower, whereas now it's like so fast. So if you have felt, even with all this crazy energy, certain things in your life have felt stuck. I'm getting more with like relationships with people, not just even significant others, but just like coworkers, people in general, you know, your relationship to just people out in the world, and, you know, friendships and things like that. If they have felt just kind of like stuck, like everything else has been changing, but this feels just so like, how do I shift, you know, my place in a friendship or a work relationship or, even a romantic relationship. Well, I feel that turning of the wheel for you guys, Sagittarius, and that is what is hatching for you in April, is that things are going to start shifting. You're going to start seeing how you interact with other people, how other people interact with you is going to shift and change, because we have all been doing kind of these bigger steps as of late, as of, the past 2+ years. These kind of bigger evolving healing moments have just seemed like bigger steps. And so it's finally time for Sagittarius to kind of hit that other step, like that next level of now how you've shifted and changed when it comes to relationships of all kinds, and how, other people interact with you as well. So again, if things have been just feeling a little bit stagnant, just notice that there's going to be some movement coming your way in terms of all relationships, not just your romantic ones, but the platonic ones as well. And even when you're just meeting Joe Schmo on the street, it's going to be different. The energy that you're putting off is different. And so you're attracting different people, and how people interact with you is going to be different, and vice versa, because, everybody else is shifting and changing as well, not just you. All right. So then let's go into number 2. What gift is offered to you this April, Sagittarius? We have justice. Okay, first of all, I just want to say that yesterday when I was pulling all the cards for Aries, there was like this majors rodeo where like almost all of my majors got used. And I was using this deck. So, and like I said, it's totally shuffled, like a lot. I've used it quite a bit. So if you guys go the majors route, all of a sudden, something's up. Susie said, I love these. Yeah, I love the Mystic Fairy Tarot. I love the borderlessness. Okay, so what is being offered to you in April, Sagittarius, is the Justice card. So this is a chance for you to feel like, oh, how do I want to say this? Because I hate to say that the, like good people being rewarded for good things and bad people being, punished for bad things, because I feel that, energetically, everything's just kind of neutral. There's energy doesn't really see, bad, a good, and a right and a wrong. But I do feel you noticing that the good that you've been doing for yourself, working on your health, working on your emotional health, trying to understand your emotions, possibly honoring your emotions more, honoring your mental health, your physical health, all of that, honoring your relationships, and, having the gratitude and really diving into that. I do kind of see this, like you feeling like good stuff is coming your way. Like things just start to feel easier. Like I said, it's kind of weird. I wish I had a different word other than just like good and bad. But yeah, that you feel like positive energy is coming your way. Like things are just kind of coming to you a lot easier. Like if other things, like let's say paying the bills has always been, kind of difficult because, I got to do this and this and this, and it just seems kind of effortless. And oh, by the way, there was just like, a few extra coins coming in this month. Oh, that really helped. It just kind of seems like things are on a roll. But with this, Sagittarius, I want you to know not to freak out. Try not to freak out. Sometimes when things feel really good, there's that little cynical voice inside of us like, oh, well, this good can't last. Well, as we know, everything is about ebb and flow. But try not to throw a wrench into that positive flow by feeling like it's undeserved, or I'm waiting for this, happy boat to end of all this goodness and this good vibrations. So what is really being offered to you is the ability to see that as you take care of yourself, and as you, work on your own energy and your own self-love, you'll notice that things start reciprocating in kind, so just kind of that. So just make sure that you keep an eye on that, and also keep an eye on those feelings of, worthiness and all of that. Okay, so question number 3, what energies will help you to plant your new projects? Hey V, oh my gosh! Which, by the way, I'm using one of your decks today. Susie said, your messages and the deck. Silver Star said, hey loves, hope everyone is doing good. Not a Sagittarius, but wanted to hang out with you all for a bit. Well, all are welcome, Heather. Yay! So nice to see you guys in here. This is awesome. Spend a nice evening after dinner. Well, for me, it's after dinner. Okay, so what energies will help you to plant your new projects? So all of those things that you kind of want to get started this season. Again, whether it's the beginning of fall for you or the beginning of spring, you know, what are some things that you want to get done and what's going to help you maybe start on those things? All right, so we have the priest, which is the Hierophant. So the first thing, the really big thing that is going to help you guys getting started, you know, taking these ideas from the fourth and fifth dimensions and putting them into 3D reality is really taking a look at what is possible. You know, I know that we live in a 3D world. We have these 3D bodies, and you know, there's so much that we learn in school about, you know, physics and science, and this is how it is. But you have to remember that our knowledge of the universe and the world, even in the 3D realm, is ever evolving. And to also keep in mind that this isn't all there is. And of course, yes, you guys know that, but just to bring yourself back to your spirit, you know, which meditation will help with that, and start to re-look at the things that are possible for the projects that you want to do. So let's say, I don't know, I just want to throw it out there. Let's say you work a 9 to 5 right now, and your ultimate goal is to have your own brick and mortar shop. You know, maybe you want to make something and you want to sell it to the people in your town. And it just seems like such a far off goal because right now you might be struggling with bills, struggling just to kind of keep a roof over your head. So it's like, how will I even possibly get to that? And so that's the 3D mind saying, well, logically, that's impossible because of the way everything is right now. And the spirit knows that, well, that's definitely possible. We just have to listen to our intuition to kind of guide us in the 3D realm so that we can take the steps that are needed. It may not happen right away. Like I said, this may take time because it is 3D, but listening to that intuition, taking the steps, and then eventually getting to where you want to be or something even better. So in order to plant those seeds, you're really going to have to take a look at what is and is not possible. So tapping into the higher self, and just like this dude, getting into meditation. Oh, yay. Okay, so let's go into question number 4. What area of your life needs nourishment, Sagittarius, or your Sagittarius friends? We have the 2 of Wands. Okay, so the area of your life that needs nourishment is the balance between having a creative outlet and something productive and positive for your energy, both mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and accomplishing the to-do list. So I know that especially in springtime, those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, we want to get this done because it's starting to warm up outside, and let's try to do this before summer hits, and let's do this while it's still cold outside. So we're trying to get everything done, but there is a tendency to burn ourselves out, and then when we can't get all the things done that we want to, or something happens, or you know, some blockage, you know, occurs and prevents us from getting all the things done, we might then come down on ourselves and berate ourselves for not getting this done. I should have started this sooner, and that takes us out of the present moment and, you know, thinking about our energy. Yes, there are other things that we need to get done, which we can delegate. And we can put certain things off, maybe possibly later. Not everything needs to get done right now, but just kind of working on that balance between taking care of yourself and taking care of the to-do list. So that is something to nourish. So keep your eye on that, Sagittarius, just like you keep your eye on your bow and arrow. All right. Let's take a look at question number 5. What strengths can you showcase in April 2022? All right, let's take a look ski. All right, Sagittarius, the strength that you can showcase, the Queen of Pentacles. All right, so when it comes to the earthly realm, when it comes to the home, when it comes to many of your careers, making money, keeping a roof over your head, when it comes to even maintaining your vehicle. You guys are pros. Maybe you're not at all of those things, but you're pretty good at those 3D things. So as you're remembering this Hierophant here, taking into consideration, remembering that yes, we are a spirit in a human body, and keeping everything in balance, that I can take what I know of my intuition and I could apply it, to this strength that I have, which just turns this into a super strength, like superpower. So just keep that in mind. Anytime you come across challenges this month, just know that there are so many things when it comes to this realm that a lot of people struggle with, but you're very, very good at it. So there is some help that you can offer other people who maybe struggle to make money, or struggle to find a job, or struggle to do things within the home, or maybe even plant their own garden, things like that. You're very good at terra firma, the earth. You're good with those things. So remember that. So when you're feeling down and out, which we all do from time to time, again, everything is an ebb and flow. Just remember, you know what? I got this. There may be some other things that I don't quite understand yet. The operative word is yet, but I know that I can do this. I know that I am a great cook. I know that I can tend a garden like nobody's business, and not many people can say that. And I know that my skill is needed somewhere, and I can help somebody with those skills, even if they seem like whatevs. That's just our ego talking. You have some talents, especially when it comes to earth. So help others with it. Remember that. Remember that. Okay, so question number 6, what area of your life needs refreshing? Because spring. Susie said, beautiful energy for George. He is really a good cook. Lucky. Lucky. Okay, so where do we need a little bit of a refresh? We have the 5 of Wands. So right away I was getting, when it comes to certain triggers coming up over and over and over again, maybe it's maybe it's not the same topic that's coming up over and over, but the same feeling keeps getting triggered, and it may be coming from the same area in a past trauma. I want to say. So let's say the issue of social justice comes up, but also the issue of child abuse comes up, and they may seem completely different, but you feel that same trigger, and it's coming from some sort of trauma deep down. So you may have noticed that maybe in the past couple of years, because like I said, we've all been going through some change and some growth, that this same feeling and the same trigger keeps coming up over and over again. And so this spring, let's really dive into, I know we all have a lot of different types of shadows. Life is a whole healing journey, but this might be one shadow that we can really focus on, instead of thinking about all of the things that we could work on. Maybe just work on this one thing in April, is this one emotion that seems to keep coming up again and again. Why? And why does it seem like it's coming up more often? And that's because that's something saying, hello, I would love to heal this. It's time for, so-and-so to heal this, so that we can take another step in our evolution, so that we can start bringing in more of those things that we've been working towards. So it's not a bad thing. You're not being punished by the universe in any way. It's just our energy's way, our body's way of saying, hello, this might be something that you want to focus on for your next healing step. So something in need of refresh is just the same trigger that seems to be coming up for you again and again. Really start to journal it. Try working through the emotions. There might be several other than just one emotion. And really go into meditation, connect to that higher self. I keep saying meditation because that's like the best way to connect with your inner self. And so let's listen to that guidance and learn to trust that guidance. Oftentimes we put trust outside of ourselves. We have to start learning to trust, us here. Okay, So that Five of Wands energy, let's do a little refresh in this repeating trigger. It's repeating for a particular reason. Okay, let's then go into question number 7. So what do you need in your life right now? Like, what do you need? Some people need a bag of Cheetos. I'm not saying I need a bag of Cheetos, but you know, we all need something in our life right now. We have the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Again, it's this thing of balance, Sagittarius. It came up with Justice. It's coming up with the Two of Wands. It's coming up with the Wheel of Fortune. This seems to be coming up again and again. And with that theme card, you know, kind of looking back on all that you've accomplished to kind of build that confidence and a more solid foundation, it all brings things into balance. The Silver Star said, a cookie. Okay, so you see, some people need some sweets and some snacks right now. And with the Pentacles, perhaps it is 2 cookies. Okay, but Sagittarius, it's balance. Just needing a lot more balance in your life right now. And also, please don't berate yourself if you're feeling like, oh man, I'm throwing everything out of whack and out of balance. It's like, okay, we recognize that. So let's now move on into the present. So in the present, we're working on the balance. Who cares what happened 5 minutes ago or last week? You know, that was last week and that was 5 minutes ago. We don't live there anymore. We're now much wiser. We're different energetically. Let's stick to the present and let's try to keep things balanced in the present. Okay, as best you can. And remember, not machines, so we're not perfect, but we at least try to be cognizant of it. All right, then we're going into crystals. Okay, so with the Lavish Earth Oracle, which I have pulled 3 crystal cards from, you don't necessarily have to have these crystals. I do believe in the power of going on the internet, looking at pictures, or if you have crystal decks of cards, pulling out certain crystals and just kind of working with the energy as you're trying to tap into that crystal. Is the energy a little bit different when you have the physical crystal? Yes, of course it is. But I still think that you can get at least certain portions of that benefit and energy just by looking at the image. So here are your crystals. Scolecite. I love the little sprays and the fans, and especially when it's polished or it's in its raw form. Let's take a look at scolecite, which for me is very calming, very peaceful. Scolecite has an ancient system in place to support and protect you as you move to the next level of growth. Weren't we just talking about big steps in healing and growth? Well, yes, we were. Think of scolecite as laying a firm foundation. Ooh, ooh. Foundation, one that balances and aligns with effects that are long-lasting. Scolecite can be used effectively with vetiver essential oil. Vetiver is a grass that is sown wherever there is erosion of the soil in India because its strong roots prevent more soil loss. Use scolecite in your meditation practice or lay it directly on the body. Scolecite is a prismatic crystal, often found in fibrous, radiating masses. All right, so this is all about foundation, reflecting on how far you've come and taking big leaps forward when it comes to growth. All right, our next crystal that you could possibly meditate with, black kyanite. All right, black kyanite, and it says, black kyanite is a powerful protection stone, and as such, it can be effective in working with the aura and spiraling air patterns, since both have protective qualities that may need repair from time to time. Have clear intent when working with black kyanite, and don't underestimate it or yourself. By the way, that's my fridge in the background. It's an 80s fridge. Find a quiet space, clear yourself and your surroundings, and begin. Remove and transmute anything that doesn't support you in your highest. Affirm that you are left in a place of support, protection, clarity, and strength. Kyanite is of the triclinic crystal system and often forms in blades and columns. Okay, so again, clearing out those old thoughts, ways of being, things that are out of balance, using that black kyanite for that. All right. Oh, Susie says we have black kyanite. Well, booyah. I have a little piece of it and definitely love the energy. Okay, the final crystal that you guys could possibly use for April is Creedite. Oh, Creedite coming in again for the win. Creedite is one of the crystals that popped up for Aries, actually, as well. Creedite has such a wild air about it. It's hard to imagine how Creedite could come into being, and this is the first and best clue for its use. See, the hello, what is possible? Creedite. Everything is first imagined before it exists. Your dreams, your goals, the biggest and greatest secrets of what you want for your life. Is there something that seems impossible or nearly so that you want it so badly? Remind yourself on a daily, hourly, minute basis that if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Creedite was first described in 1916 from the Creed Quadrangle in Colorado. Doesn't it look like high desert? It often forms in radiating sprays of fine crystals. Perfect. There you go, questioning what is possible in this realm. You know, of course, you know, our logic mind would have us believe certain things are only possible in the 3D realm. You know, you can do this and you can't do this, but not taking into account that we are a freaking badass eternal soul. Silver Star said, such a beautiful stone. I just bought some black kyanite. Well, there you go, you guys. Dude, bust out those black kyanites. Like I said, I've got a little piece of that, so maybe I'll put that up on the altar. All right. I also want to take a look at an essential oil, if you guys do work with essential oils, that you might want to use. And if you don't have the oil, maybe you can use the herb. And this actually is a really good herb for cooking. Those of you with cooking husbands and perhaps yourselves cook. Susie said, it helps me with my anxiety. Yes, you know, I would say one that keeps me nice and grounded and calm when things tend to get a little anxious is my hemimorphite. That's like my fave stone of all time. All right, so essential oil, we have time. I've got time, I've got time. All right, promotes forgiveness and offers release. Forgiving yourself for anything that happened in the past, because keeping that connection keeps us anchored in the past. It's so hard for us to move forward and do the things moving forward and get the things that we want moving forward if we're constantly looking back here. Okay, so thyme, really good for that. If you want, you could put a little bit of it in a tea, but it is kind of a strong herb, so maybe you could use it for cooking, or if you're using the essential oil, maybe you can use it as a top note or a middle note. Might be kind of heavy as a base note, but you know, you guys play around with your essential oils. There you go. Okay, so let's take a look at the last couple of questions. How to stabilize what has already blossomed in your life. So some of the things that are really already taking shape in your life, how do we solidify them so that we can see them blossom and grow in April? All right, we have the Queen of Swords and we have Judgment. Judgment. All right, give me a moment to put these together. Okay, again, dude, Sagittarius, this is, I would say, your word of the month is balance. That is your word. For Aries, it was the, not really a word, but the phrase of like watching where confidence becomes over self-confident. For you guys, it's balance. So balancing the ego mind with the spiritual side, what you just know to be true. For some people, that's claircognizance. Many people receive their intuition in a variety of different ways, sometimes all at the same time. You know, whether you just have a feeling about something, a gut feeling, you just know something, you feel it, you know, you hear it, you can almost taste it in your mouth. Taking in how your spirit kind of moves about the world and balancing that with the ego mind. So in, I would say, mind teachings, that there are two souls within us. One of them is the anima, and that is kind of powered by the koyopa, which is the divine feminine life force energy. And then there's the eternal spirit, which is the nahual. So it's kind of balancing those two things. You know, you're not just a spirit, you know, able to roam free and kind of do whatever, but you're also not just a human body. So keeping those two things in check and understanding that, and understanding how each can help each other, instead of just being one or just being the other, or seeing one as more dominant than the other. Just kind of having them work as a team, not working against each other. We're never trying to, beat down our ego, but we want it to work with us. We understand that it's there. It has a purpose for, particular reasons. But we also know we have that intuition too, and it needs to work as a partnership instead of as a feud. So how to stabilize some things that have already been, like I said, they're already taking shape in your life, in terms of career, family, home, whatever it may be, is to really balance those two things, your human self and your spiritual self. It's really going to help with the manifestations, everything that you're trying to manifest, and also helps with relationships. Like I said, this is going to be a big thing about relationships for you this month, of all kinds, like platonic and romantic. Okay, so going into our final question for the monthly reading before we get into a few other sections, we have what door will open at the end of, well, we could say the season or April. So what door is going to be opening for you? Oh, we have the Five of Swords. I think this is finally when you gain a little bit of clarity with that whole Hierophant card that we have here. And which, by the way, you have free will. You can take my suggestions or not take my suggestions. You can take pieces of them. It's totally up to you guys. But if you do take some of the advice here, just know that if we can remind the anima or the ego mind that we are also a divine spirit, an eternal soul, and we are conscious of that throughout the whole month, trying to keep everything in balance as best we can, you'll start to see things come into your life, especially by the end of April, that you thought were impossible. Let's take, for instance, something that we think is wildly impossible. I'm just going to use the money thing just because, everybody's always talking about money. Let's say you're like, wow, how could I manifest $2,000? That doesn't seem possible because I don't do any sort of extra side work that could get me $2,000. I don't play the lottery, so, I don't see where that money's going to come from. Everything seems impossible. But we remember, you know what? I'm more than just a human being, so I'm going to put that energy out there that, hey, maybe some cash will come my way, and I'm just going to be open to opportunities. I'm going to let my intuition guide me. And at the end of the month, let's say some random $2,000 shows up because of certain opportunities that you took because you had listened to your intuition. This starts to shift and change your perspective on the way the world works. And you're like, wait a minute. Did I just freaking manifest that money? Oh, yes, you did. And that's when the brain goes, almost like a dog going, wait, what? So it's going to be those moments. You're going to notice many more of those moments by the end of April. Like I said, if you really start to work on balance and, understanding how the world works and how the universe works and how all these dimensions work, or things that seem kind of impossible. It's like, wait a minute. So if I could do that, what else could I do? So, there we go. That's where that comes in. Okay, so let's get into kind of the different sections. I wanted to look into health, wealth, love, and career. So let's pull a card for each. I'm going to use the Feelings in Bloom by V Love and Crystals. So Sagittarius, let's look into health. Let's look into wealth. Let's look into love. And let's look into career. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Okay, health. Here we go. Honest. I live my life with integrity. Okay, so in April, Sagittarius, and I want to say this is not just aimed at Sagittarius, but this is something that we all do as human beings from time to time. And sometimes we are not completely honest about our health, our physical health, our emotional health, mental health. Let's take mental health for instance. We may say, I got it together, everything's fine, I don't need help, I don't need counseling, I don't want anybody to help me, I can do it myself. Okay? And by doing that and keeping ourselves closed off from people that can help us, you remember we're in a world where we're meant to help each other. That's just the way it is. We're not meant to be little islands. We put too much stress on ourselves, and it's so much harder to navigate our life when we feel like we have to do it ourselves and when we're all alone. So this is a time to get really honest with yourself, Sagittarius, about where you might need help. And don't look at the word help, ayuda, as something that is bad. Okay? I know that maybe we're taught that in school, that, you're on your own. You got to do this on your own. You got to be competitive with your peers. But that's not how we're supposed to work as human beings. We're meant to help each other out. Hence why there are teachers, personal trainers, psychiatrists, therapists, psychologists, there's, coaches, there's all of these people there to want to help you, and they have people who help them. So please get really honest with yourself when it comes to all aspects of your health. No need to be a Lone Ranger. You're part of the human collective. Let's help each other. Matthew says, wow, back again. I wish you a wonderful stream. Well, thank you so much. All right, let's go into wealth. Envious, my qualities are beyond compare. And this is kind of where I was tapping into earlier in the reading when I was talking about kind of balancing things out, kind of seeing what's possible. And I do feel like you are going to manifest, even if it's a little bit of money, even if it's just $20 you find on the ground, which, dude, by the way, if you found $20 on the ground, that is a good day. Finding, little bits of money here and there that really do seem to add up by the end of April. And people get a little envious. They're like, how are they doing it? Like, what makes them so special? What makes you so special is because you're tapped into your inner guidance. That's what makes you so special, and that's what makes each of us so special. That guidance is there. We just have to tap into it, and we just have to listen to it. So when it comes to wealth, I would say on the outside, you got other people like scratching their head. How'd you do it? How'd you do that? Okay. Susie said, thank you. I'm going to share this with George. All right. Hopefully he likes it. Okay. And then we go into love. So again, whether you are attached or unattached, I'll read for both. Yearning, I fulfill my heart's desires. I feel like this message is for both. Being open in love, and I'm getting this more in terms of sexuality. Whether you have a steady romantic partner or you're just kind of maybe looking, or just random partners here and there, making sure that each time you are honest about your sexuality and your needs. Remember, this is all balance. Sagittarius, you may want to just attend to the other person, but you have to remember that everything is reciprocation. So it doesn't feel very good if the other person feels like you're just tending to them all the time. They want to do something for you. They want to help you. It's all of this two kind of energy, this balance energy, just like you want to help them, So when it comes to love, I'm getting more when it comes to behind closed doors in the bedroom, making sure that you are doing your best to be open and honest about your needs, what you like and do not like, and also asking the other person as well. So that way you guys are kind of simpatico when it comes to, doing the thing. So again, whether you are attached or unattached, just making sure that you voice that, and notice that this is a nice blue flower. Open up that throat chakra. And if you can be open in vulnerable areas of your life like this, then you are empowered to be more open when it doesn't come to things like this, when it just comes to you voicing your opinions at work or out on the street. You build that confidence to be more of you, who you really are. Okay, so taking a look into career, we have regretful. I release blame and guilt. So whatever it is that you do for a living, there's no need to, like, let's say let's say you don't like the job that you're in. There's no need to berate yourself and say, oh man, I missed that one opportunity back in 1997. If I just would have taken that opportunity, my life would be different. Well, your life's not over. You know, you have all this beautiful life ahead of you. So what are some steps that you can do now in the present to change your situation? Or if you love the job that you're in, but you'd like to do something more with it, well, no need to get on your own case by saying, oh man, I should have done this 5 minutes ago. Well, okay, well, that was then. Let's work on now. How can we direct this positive energy? If you truly love your job now, how can we take it to the next level? Or if you're unhappy with your job, what steps can we take in the present to change that situation? Okay, all right, so let's go into pulling a card for an opportunity and a block that may present itself to you this month, Sagittarius. So I'm going to use the Good Karma Tarot. Silver Star says, all right, I got to go. Sending so much love and hugs to you all. Have an absolutely beautiful night. Same to you, Heather. Okay, let's pull a card for an opportunity. And let's pull a card for a block. Okay, just something that may pop up. Let's just be made aware of it in April. Okay. And you know what, I was trying to think like earlier, like who are the Sagittarius in my life? And you know, I think there aren't any family members who are Sagittarius. Most of them are all Geminis. And I've only had one boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend that was a Sagittarius. So interesting. All right, so an opportunity that's coming up for you guys. Susie wishing Heather a great night. And Heather sending some big hugs off to Susie. Hey! We have the Queen of Swords here. I love these cards. The color, the artwork. Love it. All right. So there is an opportunity that if you take some time out to tap into your inner guidance, take some time out for meditations, take some time out to balance things in your life as best you can, so that you get the proper amount of attention to your mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, all of that, then you'll find that there's an opportunity for more mental clarity. So clarity not only for your intuition, but clarity for your logic mind as well. So when it comes to, you know, getting over obstacles, or how am I going to do this? This is a goal that I have, you know, in this area of my life. How do I get there? There is a clearer picture of how you could get there, because your brain and your intuition are working in tandem. Instead of opposites of each other, they're working together. So that intuition is guiding you, but also the 3D mind is guiding you. And you're like, okay, well, that seems much more possible, much more feasible, because I can do this and this and this and this. And that's, again, kind of taking into account some of the messages that we got earlier with the monthly reading. So that is an opportunity that's coming your way, is having an easier time trying to figure out answers or routes to particular problems and obstacles. So very nice, Sagittarius. All right, so a block that may come up is the Four of Swords. So with all of this energy that we got going on, all of this spring energy, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, there is that tendency to want to kind of do everything, especially when you find yourself like, oh wow, I got all this clarity. I'm like finding, you know, resolving all of these issues, and, you know, my energy shifting and changing. I'm feeling really good. So with all of those recharged batteries, no need to drain the batteries as quickly as possible. So just remember that with every spurt of energy, you give yourself a little breather. Spurt of energy, little breather. Spurt of energy, little breather. All in balance, my friends. All in balance. All right. This is the point in the live chat where, because you guys are here live, you get to vote on what question you would like me to pull cards for next. Susie says, everyone have a beautiful night. Same to you, Susie. Tell Georgia I said hi. Okay, so here are the two questions. So you can either vote with a red heart or a green heart. So the red heart, what is my biggest lesson this month? If that's the question that you would like answered, go ahead and vote with a red heart. For the green heart, where do I need more balance? If you want to know where you actually need more balance in your life, let's go ahead and vote with that green heart. So red heart, what's my biggest lesson this month? Or put the red heart emoji if you want to know where you need more balance in your life. Okay, so I'll give you guys some time. Miss Lane has the red heart. All right, so we got a red heart so far for what's my biggest lesson this month. So if you're interested, vote red or green. Do, 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 do. And I know a lot of people are just listening too, so some people can't actually get to the keyboard, but that's fine. So far we have one vote for the first question. And I will get the cards ready, the Animal Love Oracle cards, while you guys do that. My Nina, yes, says, hello, how are you? By the way, thank you for using your time to help us out with some confirmation. You are very welcome, and welcome in, by the way. All right, so it looks like we are going with that red heart then. We're going to be going with that first question, which is, what's my biggest lesson this month? All right, Sagittarius, whether it's your sun, moon, rising, or elsewhere in your chart, or you just have a lot of people that you know that are Sagittarius, what is the biggest lesson this month? She says, happy to be here. All right, so what is the biggest lesson this month? All right, let me put these cards out of the way. I have so many cards all over the floor right now. It's awesome. I like to just see the cards just, ah. All right. Let's take a look. We have Owl, Insight, Mystery, and Hidden Potential. The biggest lesson this month is understanding that you are so much more. That really connects with the theme card that I pulled for at the beginning of this chat. You know, so this is the theme for the month of April for Sagittarius, is building that foundation and that confidence. So being able to look back, like kind of like an owl, and turn its head like 180 degrees, just like looking back and being like, wow, I've come so far. And what has brought me this far? Well, it's been my Ace of Pentacles. You know, we talked about that earlier. The Ace of Pentacles, or sorry, Queen of Pentacles energy. You know, you're really good at navigating the 3D realm, but you're also very good at connecting to your intuition, understanding that you are a spirit, and also understanding that you're a human being on planet Earth, and taking into consideration all of those things. You're like, wow, I've done a great job. I am, you know, done a lot of healing. I'm not the same person that I was before. And yes, I still have more healing to go, but where I've been and where I am now is awesome. And so I'm seeing that here, that biggest lesson is being able to reflect on that and realizing you have so much more potential than sometimes we give ourselves credit for. So beautiful owl. By the way, James is over here trying desperately to throw some candy wrappers away in the trash. All right, so let's go into our healing, you guys. So for this healing, I just kind of want to clear out the energy. Let's do a little bit of spring cleaning so we can take in these messages, the parts of them that really connect with you, and let's try to make our dreams come true. So our dreams are out here in the ethers. Let's take them down and bring them into the 3D realm. All right, let's see. Miss Lane says, yes, I've been planning to move and start a new journey, but my family thinks I shouldn't. I want to trust the process. There's more out there. Exactly. And sometimes we can't explain to other people. All right, let's do it. Sometimes we can't explain to other people why we just know or why we just feel like a certain thing is the best thing for us. You know, for me, I, moved from California, and California girl, in and in and out, and especially a Southern California girl. And now I'm out here in like the middle of the desert, and I'm doing things that I've always wanted to do, but I haven't really done because I really haven't had an opportunity, to test out my abilities and really be creative and kind of be the inner child that I've always been. So on the outside, other people were like, "Oh no, no, you shouldn't do that. That's just not smart. Oh no, 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 that's not who you are." Well, who's to say they know you best? Your higher self knows you best because that's the real you. All right. So, on that note, let's clear out some of this gunk. Let's clear out some of this saying stuff. Let's clear out our own ego telling us, what is and is not possible. And let's do this. So, I am going to borrow James's singing bowls. And these are actually antique singing bowls. I just really love the sound of them. And enjoy the cleansing sound bath of the singing bowls. All right, so I'm just making some energy here. I'm putting them on their little donut tuffets here. Okay, I'm going to shift how I'm sitting so that I can point the camera down and you guys can see the singing bowls. Okay, so we have this one here. Maybe I'll move these decks out of the way. So I'll put this bowl here and this bowl here, and we'll move this bowl. All right, you guys ready? There we go. All right, here we go. Take a nice deep breath in, out. And as you breathe in your intention. What is it that you desperately want to manifest in April? Breathe that in. And breathe out any sort of negative self-talk, anything that is preventing you from achieving those goals. Breathe in. Breathe out. Continue breathing and connecting with your breath. Okay, breathe in again. Out. In. And release out. When you're ready, bring yourself back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And you can open your eyes again if you had your eyes closed. All right, so we are now at the very end. So let's go ahead and close up our circle. Oops, I think I have to lift up the camera a little bit more. There we go. So I'm going to do a little of the Florida water once again, clearing things out as best we can. We had that clearing of sound. Now with a little bit of water. And I'm gonna bring back that awesome wand that I was using at the beginning, my deer, or sorry, not my deer, but my boar wand with deer energy and citrine energy and lemurian quartz energy. And let's bring in that energetic circle. All right, again, starting at the north, bringing in the energy of the north, thanking that energy for providing our circle today. Bringing in the elemental energy of the west, showing gratitude for that energy, thanking that energy. Bringing in the energy of the south, again showing gratitude and thanking that energy. And bringing in the energy of the east, again showing gratitude, thanking that elemental energy for helping out with our circle today. Bringing that blue light back in through the heart, back up to source, and I ground the rest back into Gaia. And so it is. All right, let's go ahead and blow out our candle. Yay, make a wish. All right, and I want to show some gratitude. So again, for everybody who helps to support me and this channel. I love what I do. I love interacting with you guys, but I also love helping in any way that I can, using what I do best, you know, using my intuition the way I know best to help you guys, and also to strike up a conversation, you know, working together. That's my favorite thing to do, hence the live chats. So thank you to everybody who joined. Thank you to people that give the thumbs ups, they subscribe, they share, they comment. All of those things always help out the channel. They help me out. Thank you so much. And those that have been helping out monetarily with super chats and the super stickers, I greatly appreciate them. I do. It helps to keep food in my stomach and a roof over my head and clothes on my back. And also thank you to all of my patrons: Michelle, Surian, Brandy, V, Samara, Kirsten, the Silver Wheel Witch, Kayla, Jason, and Brian. So thank you to all of my patrons, and again to everybody that was in the chat. Thank you so much for showing up, even if you guys may have just known some Sagittarius. Miss Lane said, yes, thank you so much, and thank you to, again, everybody who stopped in, and for everybody who's thinking about maybe becoming a YouTube member, you know, so that's always an option as well. All of my other links are down below. You know, if you would like to catch a reading with me, if you want to take a look at my Wally's World Oracle or my Leon Mystery School, where I teach Mayan astrology, but there's other courses if you guys are interested. I also have a newsletter that I put out once a month. You can go on my website, sign up for the newsletter. I don't send spam, so I don't spam your inbox. I literally just send you a newsletter on the 1st of every month. And it has like some witchy goodness in there, but there's also like YouTube channels that I'm watching. I'm always trying to promote, you know, certain other channels or decks that I'm using, herbs that I'm using, teas that I'm drinking, stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, you can sign up for the newsletter. So all right, that's it from me, your spiritual homies. Thank you so much for coming out this evening with me. So go have dinner or go digest dinner, whatever you got going on, and have a wonderful day. All right, have a great week. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Have an awesome April, Sagittarius.